how can you let grow desire? Just by focusing on what you want daily?
Yes, but desire has to come from your heart, not your head. You think about that. Desire, like every other emotion, has to come from some motivating force within you. You see, you can think, I want to have something, but if it's only a thought, it's not going to be present with you all the time. It's only when it's a passion inside of your heart that it now becomes present with you in every moment. So I call that, let's just rub a bit of this off. Let's talk about desire a little, because it's a very important part of overcoming your fear. So let's talk about desire. Remember, desire is the way to... You still have fear, but you're overcoming it. You still have it, you're going to feel your fear still. Whatever you choose to do, whatever you desire to do, you're still going to feel your fear and do it anyway. But desire causes you to overcome the blocking action of fear. Fear causes you to stagnate. Desire causes you to overcome your stagnation and grow. So when we look at desire, how do we develop it? It can't be, it's not in the head. Not in the mind. So, with some things, no matter how often you think of them, you won't have a desire for them. Like, for example, how many of you have a strong desire to clean up a latrine? Not many of you? Now, no matter how long you think about that desire, growing that desire, do you think you could think about that for a year? Would you still have a desire to clean up the latrine? Probably not. Right, so there are some things, obviously, that growing a desire to do are a bit more difficult. So how would I grow a desire to clean up a latrine? Well, if I'm a man who uses that latrine, and I go in there after a year of it never being cleaned, it would be quite smelly, right? And the smell would get so intense that eventually I say, someone has to clean up this latrine. And if I'm the only user of the latrine, there's a high likelihood that someone will be me under those circumstances, yes? But if I had a love of my environment, can you see I wouldn't have waited that long? If I loved my care of myself, I'd go in there and as soon as there's a whiff of an odour, I would be wanting to clean it up. So I could grow my desire for personal cleanliness, which would immediately motivate me to some action, even if something is unpleasant to do. Right? Now, how do we grow desire then? It has to be a feeling to do it, doesn't it? We've got to have a feeling to do it. Or if I use another term, I don't know, some languages don't translate things properly, so in the sense of the right feeling. So let's use the term longing. When I desire something, I long for something. Do you understand what I mean by that? Have a strong feeling for it. I want it really badly. Here. Right? Now, I can start off with anything, with no desire at all. The very first day you met your current partner, did you have a longing for them? Now, some of you may have a feeling of it, love at first sight, but very few people generally have that. Right? Often we don't have that feeling at all. So how did it get from you not knowing the person to you wanting to live with them? How did that happen? Any ideas how that happened?
It's a gradual process.
It's a gradual process, right? So yes. Any others? It's gradual. Why was it gradual?
Chemistry.
Chemistry, somebody said? Chemistry? But see, initially sometimes there is no chemistry. Some of you have even looked at the person and gone, I don't like them very much. The very first time you met them, right? And then later they seem to just grow on you somehow. And then after a while, you found out what happens with gradual. What happens over this gradual period? What is happening? You're getting to know them. Huh? See? Can you see? You're getting to know the truth about this person. You see, if you weren't open to the discovery of the truth about that person through a process, you would have never got to know them. And once you started to getting to know them, there are things that you then found more attractive than other people that you found in other people. Right? And that caused your desire to get to know them to grow even further. Does that make sense? And then you got to know more about them, and eventually your desire to got to know them was so big that now you wanted to make love to them. Right? And then you went through this whole process of making love to them, and you enjoy that so much that your desire to be with them all the time grew to the point where you wanted to either marry or live together or something. Isn't that what happened? The process? The process began with no desire and yet ended up with so much desire that you want to spend the rest of your life with them. So isn't that proof that desire grows? You can grow desire. And how do you grow desire? By getting to know things. By knowledge. By opening yourself up to the truth about the interaction with the thing or person. Now, of course, a lot of desire is dependent on getting to know the truth about yourself. Right? Now, the reason why many of us don't have desire is because we have shut down, or our parents in particular have shut down, much of the truth about ourselves. And so what we finish up doing is we finish up no longer desiring the truth about ourselves. And if you don't desire the truth about yourself, you will never come to love yourself. So that's a problem if we want to live in harmony with these three things. So as we desire to get to know ourselves, we start accepting how we feel. And it's the same with another person when we desire to get to know them. We start accepting how they feel. So we sit down, and instead of talking about, oh, this is a lovely cup of tea, or you hear a lot of coffee drinkers, yes? So this is a lovely cup of coffee, we sit over a cake, and we talk about the weather and the politics and the religion and the economy and so forth. We're actually now having more personal interactions, where we find out, what's your name, and but where did that come from? What was your background? How did you grow up? What are your family like? And we start discovering the truth about everything. As we discover the truth, our desire to interact with the person grows. This is what happens naturally. Yes?